only striking, and also wants the power of the strike to be seen. Here we need to understand what likely stands behind this strike. According to the assessments, the Americans are no longer building on a deep and prolonged ground operation to extract the stockpile of enriched uranium. Instead of taking it out, they are trying to bury it underground. The meaning is not to hit the material itself directly and create contamination, but to bomb the access areas, the tunnels, the entry points, and the route that lead to the underground passages where the material is being held. If that is indeed a move, Washington is in effect closing the contaminated area, closing this option, and basically choosing not to hold the uranium in its hands, but to make sure that it will take the Iranians many months, perhaps more, to reach it again. It is a less clean solution politically, but enriched uranium, ground operation that would require thousands of troops, heavy engineering equipment, supply routes, and a prolonged presence on Iranian soil. And that also explains why tonight's blow in Isfahan is more significant than it looks at first place. It is not just another strike on a central city in Iran. It is part of an American-Israeli effort to cut Iran off from the most sensitive reserve it still has, the ability to preserve enriched materials at depth, hide it, and bring it back to the table when it suits it. If this night really sealed off another layer of access to the tunnels under Isfahan, then from Washington's point of view, this is a strategic move, not only a tactical one. But Isfahan is only one front. Over all of Tehran, all of Iran, an exceptional pace of strikes continued in the past 24 hours. The Israeli Air Force struck 170 targets with about 400 munitions. That is the updated figure that we need to work with tonight. Amongst the targets are drone engine factories, sites for producing ballistic missile components, research and development compounds, and central sites used to produce major components for a range of weapons. In western Iran, central headquarters of the Basij and the internal security forces were also struck in the cities of Sanandaj and Golan. This is no longer only a campaign against missiles. This is a campaign against the production mechanism, against the command mechanism, and against the regime's ability to project power from within. In the IDF, they are now saying out loud something that was not said this way in previous days. Tomorrow is expected to bring the completion of all the used for the development of missiles and other weapons. So again, the same pattern, not just a hit on a building, a hit on the core of knowledge, development, and production. And here, precisely at the transition between the military, we need to pause for just a moment, because across these families are running to bomb shelters. Children are using sirens instead of school bells. Soldiers are leaving their homes to defend this nation. This is real. This is happening right now. And Israel needs all of us right now. The Bible calls us to break into Jerusalem. And today, this calling means urgent,
magic book of spell.
Prayer, and it requires action. Israel must know that millions of Christians around the world are standing with us. Not just in words, but in support. And that's why we
I am not a Jewish boy.
Step up.
Not the oi boy. I'm not a Jewish boy.
Helps bring the truth from the ground.
I'm not a Jewish boy.
Around the world. It brings spiritual encouragement, and it provides real support in a time of
still hanging.
And we want to hear from you. So please send us your prayers and stand with Israel.
Prayers. Oh, prayers ain't gonna help your fucking problem, cuzzy.
We read them, we try to answer all of them. If you want to stand with us and help us,
my new project.
Go to tbn.org/.
Where is my project?
Israel. Again, that's tbn.org/.
This is part of it. Part of my project. Part of the project. We all know what this is. I just need the other piece.
Pray with us, stand with Israel, and give as generously as you can. Please do not wait. We need you in order to share the truth of what's happening here, especially now. So again, tbn.org/stand with Israel. So peace of Jerusalem and stand with us. And from here, we go straight back to the battlefield. Because behind all of the diplomatic and all the strategic tracks, the fighting itself is still not close to a complete stop.
Okay, there's still some watching. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the humble Coke bottle. I'm going to drill a hole in there, and I'm going to install one of them tubeless tire rubber valves. It fits perfectly. I've tested it. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Look at that. That fits perfectly. This bottle is currently at 5 bar. 5 bar. I'm gonna pump. Hello. I'm gonna pump. I'm gonna pump jet fuel with this. I'm gonna pump jet fuel with this. So
the problem from the American point of view is that this chaos also makes
I'm gonna pump jet fuel with this. You're gonna see.
Who is authorized to agree and for what? And if it is not clear who even holds the final word, then even when Washington hears more moderate messages through quiet channels, it does not really know whether there is someone on the other side who can close a deal.
Close a deal. It's not deals, you make treaties, you don't make deals, you idiot.
On one hand, talk of progress. On the other,
deals are worth shit. Ask Trump, he knows.
On one hand, a new leadership that in his sounds
you stuck with the leadership. Those guys have been going for 5,000 years. They ain't gonna change leadership like you want them to change. Where's my long-nosed pliers?
Inside that back, forces that are
maybe
actually
let them
being strengthened are the most extreme elements in the Revolutionary Guard.
Yeah, this was the first Leatherman. The first Leathermans that came out. Hard on the hands, but my sister gave this to me, so I just kept it, serviced it, and done all the things with it. It's over 25, it's 30 years old, for Christ's sake.
Centralized operating model. Regional commandos are still capable of carrying out
The
strikes
anti-stick
without direct
mechanism
orders from Tehran.
on the
But it
cold
does mean
glue
that those strikes are
thing
less coordinated,
doesn't
less
work.
effective, and less connected to the one
I've
national
got to put it
picture.
under hot water.
That is exactly
Sorry,
one of the
be back
reasons
now.
that Iran is still firing, but less effectively than it could have if its system were intact. And here the regime's real fear is born. Not only fear of the bombings, but fear of what the citizens are seeing. Iran's judiciary announced today that any citizen who documents the damage from
Boy,
the
oh boy,
strikes
they've got a
can expect
judiciary.
the death penalty. Yes, the death penalty
Damn
for
it.
taking pictures of areas that were attacked and confiscation of his property. The Khuzestan province in Iran, it was reported that 138 people were arrested within 72 hours. And the reason, according to the regime, is filming phone conversation and transferring materials to opposition media. When a regime
Take 2 of live ungoaded.
on a smartphone, it means
Ongoing.
one simple thing. It feels far more what is known about it than what has already been hit. And here, we need to pause the flow for just a moment and say something directly to all of you. If you follow Boots on the Ground and want us to keep bringing you the fullest, fastest, and deepest picture from the
I wonder who's the same guy that always comes. Why can't I read my messages?
You can subscribe
Or
to
the
this
live
channel.
chat or whatever.
This is TV in Israel on YouTube.
How do I get this
multiple times
thing?
a day for the situation here in
Ah,
Israel
my
and
hot
for the peace
water
of
is
Jerusalem.
running.
And now, we go straight back to the next focus of the day, which is the Gulf. The pressure on Trump not to stop the war is currently coming mainly from the Gulf states. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Bahrain are sending a clear message. It is forbidden to stop now. From their point of view, this is a historic opportunity to paralyze the regime of the Ayatollahs, strike its nuclear and missile capabilities, and prevent it from threatening the Strait of Hormuz ever again. Emiratis. They are even calling for a ground raid in Bahrain and Kuwait. Support the move even more. Bin Salman, according to the claims, said in close talks that weakening Iran serves the interests of the Gulf states. And that pressure is not coming out of nowhere. Today, Iran attacked a Kuwaiti oil tanker in Dubai, in the waters, with a drone and set it on fire. Though the fire was later extinguished, at the same time, 4 people were wounded by shrapnel from the intercepted aircraft. This is not just another marginal maritime incident. It is a message. Iran is telling the Gulf, if you push for the continuation of the war, your economies will pay. But there's also a boomerang effect here. The bullet strikes civilian shipments and the energy routes.
Seal up to
those same
100 bar.
That it cannot be left.
Join.
To threaten the Gulf whenever they
Not
want
kidding.
to. And from here comes the great debate around Hormuz. In past hours, claims again surfaced that Donald Trump is ready
Right,
to
now,
if the strait remains mostly closed.
Put my doodah there
Including context. The
so
main
that I
reason
can
being
use it on the
Washington
compressor
is that they do not want to be dragged
in
into
a quick
long maritime
fashion.
ground cleaning
So I
operation
don't want a bayonet
that will go
connector, I
beyond
want
the
just a
original
quick
timeframe of 4 to 6 weeks.
thingy.
Therefore, it may be that the Americans are separating the 2 missions to complete now the destruction of Iran's main offensive capabilities and to leave the question of
My
freedom of
dear brother
navigation
calling
in the strait
for
for
supper,
diplomatic
that's
or
most
multinational
gracious
travel
Lord.
later. But inside this debate, another idea is interning. It's becoming real now because today it is already coming up more openly that perhaps the Middle East is beginning to think about alternatives to the Strait of Hormuz and a different route altogether. If the states of this region move more oil and goods westward towards Saudi Arabia through the Red Sea and on the Mediterranean ports, including Israel, then Iran may discover that losing the strait not only failed to subdue the world, but pushed the world to look for bypass routes. In other words, Tehran tried to grab the throat of the energy market and may discover that in the long run, it is pushing the region to reorganize itself in a way that reduces the value of its threats. The Americans themselves are not speaking with one voice. On one hand, Trump is threatening that if there is no deal soon, and if Hormuz is not reopened, he will strike power stations, oil wells, desalination facilities, and Karak Island. On the other hand, he is signaling that perhaps reopening the strait is no longer a core goal for the current campaign. That is not necessarily a contradiction. It can be dual-track pressure to tell Iran, either you give us what we want now, or we hit you directly in the heart of your economy, even if the question of the strait itself is postponed to the next stage. In the middle of all of this, Trump also opened a new verbal front today against Europe. He attacked countries that refused to assist the campaign, including Britain, and called on them to buy fuel from the United States or show late courage.
Maybe no one's there, maybe someone is there. Oh yeah, look at this.
He also attacked France and claims that
Look at this. This is chicken. This is chicken
supplies to
curry
Israel, and warned
with
that
garlic
Washington
bread
will remember, and the
fresh
American
avocado
message is clear.
pear.
If
I
you
mean-
choose not to participate now,
my
do not
brother
expect
looks
the United
after
States
me
to carry along the cost of the energy,
like you
the
don't
cost of the fighting,
understand, like
and
no
the
one
protection
understands.
of your trade routes. And the confrontation with Europe. The confrontation with Europe is no longer theoretical. Spain closed its airspace to American aircraft involved in this war. And in addition to refusing the use of the shared bases in Rota and Moron. And then Italy, according to the reports, prevented the American aircraft from using the Sigonella base in Sicily for operational flights that are connected to this campaign. That's while Washington is trying to apply maximum pressure on Iran, some of its NATO allies are making things harder for it logistically.
So what I do,
From Trump's point of view, this is not only a lack of assistance, it is almost a loyalty
I'm going
test.
to
And meanwhile, in Tehran, they're trying to open additional pressure routes through the proxies. And Iran is pressing
This little
the
thing.
Houthis to
I'm going to,
stand the fighting in the Red Sea.
this is a 5,000 watt.
That the Houthi leadership is
I'm going
examining the
to,
possibility for more aggressive action against the shipping routes, but inside the organization itself, there is deep disagreement. And according to reports, the strike on Israel over the weekend was not the beginning of a broad operation, a compromise between
going to pump
faction that
low
wants to
pressure
enter the war more
jet
forcefully,
fuel through here.
more cautious elements that fear direct confrontation
Well, that's
with
the
the United
plan.
States. This is very important because it means that right now, Iran is applying pressure, but the Houthis themselves still have not decided that they are going all the way. And still, the very Iranian pressure on them says something important. Iran understands that the maritime arena can create a bigger economic effect than one more barrage on Israel. If it succeeds in reigniting the Red Sea while Hormuz is already partially blocked, it will create a pincer movement against the global economy. That may not necessarily be what decides Israel, but it is certainly a pressure tool designed to make the whole world anxious about the continuation of this campaign. And now, let us move to what's happening in Israel itself. Because today, several impact zones were recorded in central Israel following the launch of a cluster missile from Iran. 10 people were likely wounded, and there were no deaths. This is important, both operationally and psychologically. Operationally, because it shows that Iran is still trying to create an impact effect to types of munitions that...
Yeah, I'm tired of war now. War. Shit. Let's see what the Big Bang says. See what they say about the Big Bang. Any new videos from the history of the universe 3 years ago? I love their documentaries. You just go and do a potluck. The history of the universe. Probably the best documentary on astrophysics that you'll get. Not too deep, but just correct. And I'm not advertising for them. Oh yeah.
Chapel of the Catholic University of Leuven in Belgium, a priest lights a candle and kneels before the statue of Christ for his daily devotion. His name is Georges Lemaitre, and it is 1927. As he rises, his eyes wander to the towering windows that line the chapel's walls, and to the stars twinkling in the early evening light. He smiles in distant reflection, imagining the sequence of events that brought that starlight to the Belgian sky. But, despite his faith, Lemaitre's beliefs were lacking a creator so fundamental to the Catholic doctrine. He had no need for divine intervention when it came to the making of the universe. No seven-day miracle. Instead, he saw it as a natural consequence of natural laws and processes, proved by mathematics and visible in the movements of the heavens themselves. His extraordinary insight would earn him 2 Nobel Prize nominations.
Work is a pain in the apps. My files are in this app, my chats in this app, projects in that app.
Oh, wow. You're really working your apps off, Daniel. You need
I don't do that.
ClickUp is the AI-powered work platform that unifies your entire team and all your tools together in one place.
I hate these adverts, but
Georges Lemaitre was
I like to stay in
just
tune with
a
what's
Catholic
out there.
priest. He was also a theoretical physicist, a cosmologist, fascinated with the workings of God's perfect universe. It was here in Leuven that he began work on a theory that would come to shape our modern understanding of the cosmos.
Wonder how I'm going to
Based
make
on
this
a
work.
remarkable observation
It's an
that
electric
space
wooden gun.
seemed to be
It'll
expanding.
all make sense pretty soon.
Mathematics had laid out the history of the universe, and now Lemaitre traces it backwards in his mind's eye.
Georges
He
Lemaitre.
imagines a time before before humans, or indeed any living thing inhabiting the Earth. Before that, of course, the Earth must have formed as a barren rocky ball around the glowing sun.
So I'm going to drop a feather and a 20-kilogram weight with the same accuracy.
That gas and dust was a consequence of many generations of stars that
Same accuracy
before
as
our own, igniting, fusing elements and exploding in terrific supernova that spread their elemental waste products across the cosmos. He imagined a time before these many lineages of stars, before the chemical complexity that we enjoy, when only hydrogen and helium floated inert in a lightless universe. If space is expanding now, then in the reverse
hydrogen and helium,
mind,
cousin.
it is contracting. There would be a point in this dark, gassy cosmos
to do with some of that helium.
when all the matter in the universe was compressed into a
We need
vast
body
small
balloons.
space. Atoms would become packed so tightly that even photons are unable to pass through. There are no light sources here, but it doesn't matter. The universe is utterly opaque. When the contracting reversed universe crushes down even further, the atoms themselves are crushed, first into subatomic particles and then into pure energy. In this small, dense
Have to get some
universe,
more
there
pipe.
is only radiation.
More pipe,
Here,
where are you?
even Lemaitrè's imagination begins to falter. The universe can become even smaller, even hotter. But what happens then? Lemaitre pushes the unanswerable from his mind, content in having grasped 13 billion or so years of cosmological history, and unperturbed by the mysteries contained within the first fraction of a second. But the Big Bang Theory, of which Lemaitre was unknowingly the first true proponent, has been the subject of debate, research, and speculation for nearly 100 years. How did the universe begin? What was the trigger for its incredible expansion? And could our simple matter brains ever even comprehend the real truth?
Where's my... Case for the Leatherman, yeah.
Before Lemaitre, studies of the cosmos had largely focused on our own place within it,
Wonderful
as well as
things,
observations to
LEDs.
determine its composition and extent.
Wonderful
13th century
things.
philosopher Cigar of Brabant was alone in venturing the statement that the universe was eternal, with no beginning. His heretical views outraged the
Look at
theologians
what we
of the
can do
time
now
and
with
earned him condemnation by the Pope in 1277.
technology.
Rumour has it he was murdered with a pen, a symbol of the damage his ideas had done. Since then, no serious scholar had contemplated changing history or a beginning. And so
Things
Lemaitre's
need not be.
calculations rocked the cosmological world. But they were not embraced by everybody. The idea was that the universe started its life a finite time ago in a single huge explosion, and that the present expansion is a
Explosion?
relic of the
No
violence of this
explosion.
This Big
Come on
Bang
now.
idea
Yeah.
seemed to me to be unsatisfactory
No
even before
explosion,
detailed
Guzzy.
examination showed that it leads to serious difficulties.
Inflation is
One
the word.
respected but controversial astronomer, Fred
Inflation.
wailed against Lemaitre's expanding universe history,
Lemaitre,
coining the term Big Bang as an insult. For the implication of an expanding universe is that, at some point, it must have begun expanding, and at some point the universe itself must have begun. This, Hoyle confidently declared, was pseudoscience, little different from trying to justify the existence of a creator. The only reason, he said, that we were so attracted to this novel Big Bang theory was because the teachings of the book of Genesis are so ingrained into our collective psyche.
Genesis, Menesis, man.
Did you know that if you want to become
Talking
an
about.
AI expert and be more valuable at work, you don't need to
It's
go
just as
to a
bad as
course or
Trump's
take a
imaginary
long-term
friend.
education. In fact,
I think Trump's imaginary friend is doing better.
at all. The truth is, all you need to do is learn an AI tool quickly.
He swapped sides the other day. He went ahead and he said, said the other one. He said the other word, the big A. The big A word.
Or preparing for useless certification exams at
The
best part is, with the right plan,
But
all
at
you need
least
to get started is just
Allah provides real estate with fucking oil on it.
We've helped more than 50,000 entrepreneurs and professionals succeed online through tailored education and cutting-edge ad tech solutions. And now, we're running the 30-day AI Mastery Challenge.
Come
Tell
on.
people like you to quit.
And yet, Lemaitre was quite happy to keep physics and religion separate. His mathematics didn't yearn for theological validation, and they were supported by real observations of the real universe, made by eminent astronomer Edwin Hubble just a few years later. From the Mount Wilson Observatory, northeast of Los Angeles, Hubble had gazed tirelessly through the largest aperture telescope of the time, peering at some of the dimmest parts of the night sky.
Warm that shit
These
up.
measurements would prove conclusively the long-held suspicion that there were more galaxies than just our own Milky Way. But they would also show something that nobody had expected. Luminous objects, like stars, emit light as a result of the fusion in their cores. The color and characteristics of that light depends on the temperature and the composition of the star, but it also depends on the star's movement. Just as an emergency vehicle sounding a siren
that was my
when
fish.
it's moving towards us,
That was my fish.
so too the
My
light from the
goldfish.
star will be altered when it's moving closer
My
or
goldfish.
further away. In sound, the phenomenon is known as the Doppler shift, and in light, it's redshift. The light waves emitted by stars
My
move
goldfish.
away from us as
Oh,
stretch
this
out.
way.
The same energy must
Use
now
his
cover a
mouth.
greater distance,
Hello,
so the
how are
wavelength
you?
is suddenly
Hello.
increased. In the visible
I'm a wire
spectrum,
goldfish.
the
Hello.
longer wavelengths of light are colored red to our eyes, and so receding stars appear more red than they actually are. Hubble wasn't the first to discover redshift in astronomical objects, but his observations at Mount Wilson did uncover a surprising truth. Every galaxy he studied was redshifted. Every single galaxy was moving away. Although at first this would seem to support religious notions of the Earth being the center of the universe, the truth is stranger still. Hubble saw that the more distant galaxies receded much more quickly than those close by, and this could only be possible if the whole of space was expanding. These observations were a striking vindication of Lemaitre's mathematics and of the concept of a tiny beginning to our universe.
Found my bone brattle. Jesus.
In 1964, researchers at Bell Labs in Holmdel, New Jersey, were using a gigantic horn antenna to tune into radio waves bounced off some of the earliest satellites. The work demanded unprecedented precision, and the scientists went to great lengths to eliminate all possible outside sources of interference. But, despite their best efforts, their results were plagued with a persistent noise they couldn't eliminate. At first, they thought it could have been the results of pigeons roosting in the shelter of the huge antenna, their droppings disturbing the signal. Or perhaps it could have been interference from bustling 1960s New York City, some 50 kilometers away. But eventually, it became clear that the noise wasn't pigeons or people. It was coming from outside our galaxy.
I need a glove.
It was a property of the universe which we now recognize as cosmic microwave background radiation. This radiation is a remnant of a time when the universe was very small and very, very hot, as predicted by Lemaitre's calculations. The expansion of space has since spread that radiation out. It once intense heat waves into microwaves with a background temperature of just 3 degrees above
Express to
absolute
these
zero.
guys to make big enough gloves
Radiation scars burned into the fabric of space.
for my hands. How do I get
Of the big
the message across to these guys to make
theory is now the accepted model for the cosmos. Expansion over some
a
30
large,
billion years.
let's fuck that one up.
Still much work to be done, much understanding to be sought. The nature of the
What
universe's
the
first
fuck?
moments are still
They can't make oversized gloves.
so many questions.
only people who have.
If you're spending money on marketing every month but have no idea what's actually working, your sales team keeps complaining about junk leads, and you just feel like your marketing could be way more efficient, then I would like to share something with you. Hi, my name is Carl Farah. Over the last 8 years, we've generated over 250 million rand in track revenue for over 125 plus South African brands across the country. And here's what we've learned. The difference between brands that generate high quality leads and sales versus the ones that struggle all comes down to this one thing. They all have a successful lead generation system. A system that does 3 things really well.
How do I say
Number
hello?
1, targets prospects when they're ready to
Hola,
buy,
hola.
not when they're bored scrolling.
Adam,
Number
as
2,
one
automatically filters out high figures before they reach your sales team.
How do I say
Number
hello?
3, tracks every rand from ad click to close deal, so you finally know what's working and profitable. We've spent 8 years perfecting the system, and the result, our clients generate 100 to 200 high quality leads every sinsingle month. Predictably,
Retouch on. What's retouch?
their sales team actually thank them for the
Oh,
quality,
Jesus, I
and
don't
they make
want
decisions
those
based
things.
on data, not gut feel.
Da, da, da,
Brands
da,
like
da,
Innovation
da, da.
Score, Prepay 24,
Hello.
Accuracy,
If
Mountain
you said
Goal,
hello, I'm
all use
saying
the
hello
same
back.
system. And here's the best part. When the system is
I
installed,
don't know how to
you
work
feel in
this thing
control.
yet.
Marketing no longer feels like something that just happens to
Okay.
you. So here's what we've done. We've just released a free training breaking down the complete 6-step lead generation system. Here's what you're going to learn. Why 95% of businesses target the wrong people at the wrong time. The simple qualification system that filters out junk leads automatically. How to track real ROI from ad spend to close revenue. And finally, the exact 6 steps we use to consistently generate predictable lead flow. This isn't theory. These are strategies we use with clients every single day. So, if you're tired of guessing, tired of wasting money, and want to see how to make your marketing as efficient as it can be, click the link below, enter your details, and get instant access. Because once you see how simple this is, when done right, you'll never look at marketing the same way again.
Welcome to Suno V5.5. This is our best sounding model, but more importantly, it is our most personalized model. We built V5.5 around the idea that the music that you create should carry something of you, your voice, your sound, your taste. Because V5.5 captures so much musical nuance and timbre, it unlocks 3 brand new experiences for the most expressive Suno experience to date. Custom models, my taste, and the one that I'm most excited to talk about and you've been asking for forever, voices. That's right, you can finally make music with your own voice on Suno. Voices let you capture your own voice and use it to sing in your Suno creations. If you're a singer, you can use your voice in your music wherever you are. No need for a recording setup or a mic or a quiet space to get a demo out. And if you don't sing,
How you stub?
finally experience what it's like to use your voice.
Like yourself, I'm just typing a report, and I'll call you back a bit later.
Of course.
Let me show you how to set it up. You can upload and clean
Shoot.
Speak to you later.
Back on this number, eh?
Yeah, on this number, or I'm live on YouTube. Okay.
Alright?
Casey.
Yeah, I'll hit you on live on
Yeah.
YouTube when I get on there, okay?
Yeah, no, one time. Just testing 1, 2, 3. Thanks, Chub. See you. Bye bye. Bye
Cheers,
bye
mate.
bye.
Bye.
My voice. A good microphone does help, but your built-in Wi-Fi on your devices should work just fine. Just make
Why am I live on YouTube? That's the $1 million question. Why am I live on YouTube? Because I'm building up to the crescendo. And they get to make a hot glue gun that doesn't drip off the front. You see these little spermatozoa that you form when you put the glue gun on. What did I want this on for? I want to 1, 2. I want to glue this to this. Who cares?
To ensure that the voice you are submitting is actual.
Who cares? Yeah. I'm making a high pressure jet engine for any reference. It just real life takes a long time and a lot of fucking around looking for shit, and you know, now I'm gluing pipes on with miniature glue guns and making because you've got to make things fit, otherwise, you know, inventing is just having a lot of money and telling other people to do it, which I don't have. 6 people think that I'm fucking around. There's always one person that thinks that I'm doing something, I don't know. Let's see if I can glue this thing onto there. How will that go on? Maybe I've got to heat it up more on my glue gun. It just fits, so I can heat it up in the glue gun a bit and get it onto there, because this is going onto that, which goes onto a standard issue valve, and that just broke off. So now, I mean, I've got to start again. I mean, Jesus, how much bad luck can someone have? It's broken. Now I've got to fix both. Okay, well, better get at it. Yeah. How can I shave this thing? Put it in a pencil sharpener. I'm going to make this thing. Shift to go on. Yes, it does. It goes on. It goes on. It goes on. So, now all I've got to do is fix the flaccid. I've got to sealed on with this crimping joint. I'm going to have to go and grind that off. Oh, what a pity. Okay, well, shit happens. I've got to do what I've got to do. At least my knife's sharp. So where's my scissors? Where is my shears? I mean, look at my bed. This is a fuck up, and the garage is too cluttered to work in, and I want to work in the bedroom now because I'm listening to the news about this Middle East thing, and if I have to hear about my mother and Hormuz again, I want to shit myself. This stuff is strong. Did it just perish or what? I'd go down the or what thing. I'll put one of these in my mouth so I can smoke less. One of my Zolgara. Where is my scissors? Wherefore art thou in the field milking a cow?
Hi there, I'm Katya Kovalenko, a presentation designer and educator. As a presentation designer, I've had the privilege of working with startups and companies.
Maybe I should cut it back a little bit.
And make a lasting impression. Creating impactful presentations without a design background can be challenging. With the advent of artificial intelligence, we're entering a new era of presentation design. I'm a firm believer in the power of effective communication, and my goal is to empower you with tools and knowledge needed to unleash
Alright, now
there seem to be
I gotta go prepare this thing. I gotta go grind this off. I don't know, this live thing. Unless it follows me around, you're just gonna have a look at what the goal is for now. And yeah, like they say, byt vas, ek's nou terug hoor.
For the final project, you will create a presentation completely from scratch using ChatGPT, Midjourney, and other AI tools. First, I'll introduce you to the AI tools for content generation: ChatGPT, Notion AI, Charlie, and Quillbot. After this first contact, we'll dive deep into AI tools for visuals, such as Adobe Firefly and Midjourney. I will also teach you how to upscale and enhance your images with Image Larger and create mockups with Shotso. After playing with all these tools, we'll move on to the slide design. To do so, we'll use Chroma to create color palettes, Bright Slide to design our slides, and Slido for interactions. To finish, we'll talk about the importance of rehearsing and how to do it with another great tool, the AI. By the end of this course, you will be able to create your presentations faster and also enhance your creative results. To follow this course, you don't need any previous knowledge.
During this inflationary period, right at the earliest moments of the cosmos, space expanded exponentially, doubling its size from one moment to the next. Things that increase exponentially get very big, very fast. And so this cosmic inflation was sufficient to put the bang which is precisely what we see today. According to the theory, the universe was imbued with energy, which caused the exponential expansion. When the exponential expansion ended, although we don't know why it ended, the energy inherent to the universe is converted into matter and radiation, marking the beginning of time and space as we understand it. The features of the modern universe only allow us to see the final decillionth of a second's worth of this inflation. That's 1/10 to the power 33, during which time physics made a little more sense, but we still don't know how long the inflationary period lasted. Could the inflation itself have started with a singularity? Logic says no. If exponential expansion means doubling in size, then running that in reverse, we see the universe shrink to half its size, then a quarter, an eighth, a 16th.
break the seal, I think. You break the seal on this. Ah! Ah! Hello, where did you go? I just fixed the problem and then lost the problem. I mean, what? Ah, here it is here. Okay, so I've got this. This now has got to come off. And it does. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I didn't even damage it. Seeing as though my thumbnail is so boring, how come that you people actually want to go on? Because my thumbnail is a Z. I mean, what? Why are you on here? I ask that with tears in my eyes. I appreciate you, but why are you here? Okay, so now I can put this back onto here, and I'll have my pumping device sorted for my 1 liter Coca-Cola bottle. Where's my 1 liter Coca-Cola bottle that I can demonstrate? The demonstration. I'm going to have to beef this up with some cotton. I'm going to windy this with some cotton first. If I can only find it. Oh, here it is. Cotton, very good thing. Double it. Double it. Take this blue finger off. And then I'll do a half hitch. A half hitch. Knot. And then pop it on. And then what is south of the South Pole, they ask? More southness? What? And I'm going to bind this string so that it reinforces it. Only one eye watching, and you must be clever. You must be knowing what I'm doing here, unless it's the CIA, because the experiment does involve the military. Right. So let's see if there's cold glue. Cold glue. Goes like that. Okay. And I'll put a little drop of that on the string, on the cotton, and I must remember to close the cold glue. Give it a little smear around. And then I untangle it. And I can resume with the glue, the cold glue. Windy, 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 windy. And then break it. Right. Why are BYD electric cars better than Tesla cars? That's my question. Are they? I think they look like dog shit. They don't look like much, but the Teslas look fantastic. But BYD, I don't think they make nice cars. Maybe the inside, maybe the electric motors are nice. Let's see. Even though I dislike Elon Musk profusely, he came from my country. I don't like him. He's an idiot as well, just like the other guy. Okay. Right, now I can insert this. I think I'm going to put a little bit of silicon grease on there just to keep it all nice and yummy. I'm gonna get my silicon grease.
One of the most popular pieces of speculation has become known as the Big Bounce, in which the universe is eternal but transitions between an expanding state, described by the Big Bang, and a contracting one, known as the Big Crunch. The idea of this
You see, when you have a long beard like me, your greasing is older than my grandkids. They're older than my children. We seem to collect things. I'm going to moisturize the inside of my tube with this silicone grease so that the rubber doesn't go brittle. Put that there for now. Oh, Roger Penrose. Yeah. Good old Roger Penrose. Right, that's back on there. So I'm back to where I started. Let me put some more string, some more cotton. Cotton jack. More cotton jack. Which one should I use? I'll use both. I shall use both cotton. The granniest of granny knots. And then it'll all become clear if you watch the series. I'm just documenting this all for my grandkids so that they can see that what they're inheriting, and it's important for your trust fund grandkids to know where their money's coming from, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Right, baby. Now you wind it. String theory. This is string theory, yes. Not even a hose clamp can beat tightly wound cotton. Not even a hose clamp. Now hold the tension on it, get some more glue. Open the thing with one hand. Just a drop of cold glue will do the trick.
If they were incorporated into a dimensional reality. His proposal of this so-called superstring theory sparked a flurry of research and offered a new, if perplexing, possibility. In superstring theory, space-time is described by no less than 11
Give it a snippety. And then
If you think that kittens are all the same, think again.
right.
Unique health needs at each stage of growth.
Oh, ready to go. Ready
Feed
to
your kids unique
rock and roll, baby. Some more for old time's sake. The string ain't unraveling.
This theoretical framework, our own
This works so well, I wouldn't give it to Lance Armstrong.
dimension of time, can be considered a mere portion of the whole.
Get that one.
Hyperspace.
Come on.
Physicists suggest that our
There
universe
we
is
go.
derived from the energy released when higher order brains collided. The energy from the collision provides the motion force for the Big Bang and subsequent expansion of the universe.
So, I've got this now.
This higher order brain caused them to retract and recollapse after a
That is what will pump up my 1 litre polyeth. Similar to this. This is a, I think it's a 750 ml. Yuck. It's got no sugar in it. Ugh. Very little. So only the litre Coke bottles have the original taste, the original sugar. That's the one I buy. But sometimes they don't have it. Right, where's my bottle? Jack. I love this dinky little one. I love this dinky little one. I wonder what pressure this can hold. I'm gonna explode them all. Not tonight though. Here's my bottle. It's got the valve on the end, and so far so good. It's bulging a little bit at the top. So this will go into here, like that, and then I will blow it up to 8 bar, whatever this thing eventually is going to explode at, and then they can take their fuel up Mount Everest, and boil like kings at altitude, 26,000 feet. It'll work at 8 kilometers. I don't know so much about feet. I don't know how many feet there are in a meter, 3 point something, I guess. But yeah, they're going to have decent, and then they bring their bottle back down with them, don't they? Don't they? And someone just has a bicycle pump anywhere on the route, and everyone will carry their own kerosene, because kerosene's easy to carry in a 1 litre bottle. Right, so, and my business end is going to be this side. I'm going to come out of here with my feeding tube, and I'm going to sit down now and design the valve that will provide minute amounts of kerosene. I'm talking about 5 milliliters over 2 minutes. That's a teaspoon per 2 minutes. 5 milliliters, 2 minutes of fury, not epic fury, just fury, burning, heat, clean. Okay, but it will all become clear. Very strong. PET. Very difficult to recycle because it's so strong. What's it? Whatever. Polyethylene tri whatever. I'll have to ask my father. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if I should just keep this going or go take this phone to the workshop where I'm going to be doing. Now you see this is going to be too bulky to take up on Everest. This is the standard camping version that produces 2,500 watts. The one that they're going to take up Everest is going to be an aluminium frame, and the aluminium frame is going to be like this, and the burner fits inside here, and this here is as big as you can see. And then when you want a big pot, a big pot, 25-liter pot, you can put it, 20 liters on this, and then you switch on all 3 or 4 burners, and you start boiling so vigorously that you risk melting the glacier. But you will see very soon. I'm going to do the live demonstration of how the flame works. I mean, carry it on your head. I don't know, carry it on your fucking head. Carry it wherever you want, but this will save many people's lives once it's going. And the little burner on its own can fit in any apparatus. So this is what I'm trying to prove on this. Look at this little burner. Look at this tiny little burner. Look at it. It's tiny. Look at it. You can't even see it in the middle. Can you see that little burner? It weighs 2.5 grams. And the big one I can produce, with one, I can produce almost 5,000 watts, 5 kilowatts. Super efficient. Stop all those disposable little tin cans of propane gas lying around on Everest. It'll clean my soul. It'll cleanse my soul. Then we just got to bring all the other shit down from Everest. Leave the bodies up there. They can get eaten by the crows. Who cares? I don't know. I'm just... You want to climb and you die there, then, yeah, die there. And stay there. Because at least you got a good view. That's my outlook on it, I guess. I mean, some people like fighting wars. Some people like climbing mountains. Some people like jumping through fire. Some people like jumping canyons with rocket engines and parachutes. And I mean, there's so many different types of people. This is what you would expect from evolution, the diversity of human psyche. We could expect it with evolution, really and truly. And then there's some people that have got it together, and they're just missing the plot altogether. I don't know why. But anyway, we're going to carry on. This is the prototype for my valve. This is just for proof of concept. I'm going to do it in this, so that it can demonstrate, because it's see-through. It's going to be able to demonstrate the flow of my special valve that I'm developing specifically for minute amounts of fluid. 1 drop per minute. What is a drop? A drop is probably, I don't know, let's find out. How much is a droplet of kerosene? That is my smallest flow. No, half a drop is my smallest flow of kerosene. So, but I've designed the valve to do it, so you'll all be a part of that. You'll see. I don't need thousands of followers. I only need maybe 100 people that understand what I'm doing. Then I can answer most of their emails and their questions. I don't need big volumes. Oh, Jesus, I don't need big volumes. That's what I'm not here for entertainment. I'm here for documentation. Look at my bed. How am I gonna do this now? Maybe if I go and I see outside, it might be there. It might just be there. I wonder what's on here. Let me just hang this here for now. That's better. My boombox, my old boombox, my trusty boombox. Should switch it on and see if it still works. Yeah, still works. Okay. Where's my other boombox? Aha. She's alive. She's alive. transistors, wonderful things. Transistors. Should actually put my TV on sometime. Oh shit. I saw this is an American idea. They make a coin. They produce a coin, and then what it says on the one side of the coin is, I just made it in the note. I don't know if you find this funny or what, but I hand these out to people that don't quite fit in with the normal conversation people have. I think it's quite funny, you know. I thought it was funny. Americans do come up with a good idea every now and again, like how to name stuff, like LAX. I went to LAX. Here we go to Oliver Tambo. I wonder when my good friend from Cape Town is going to phone me so I can either argue with him or argue with his wife or his sons. I'm just looking for someone at least to argue with until I get this internet live thing sorted out. I guess I'm going to have to just be talking to my imaginary friend. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. And someone told me I smoke too much. I know I do. I just need to grow some more of these. This is what I really want to grow. I want to grow some more of these. Can anyone tell me what these are? These are magnificent. And they're beautiful. I wonder if anyone can tell me what this is. Yep. Okay, now I must do the drawing. That's the worst part of it, is doing the drawings and then making because I've got to make a little valve. The valve is going to be this big. It's going to be a tiny little thing. I need a stationary bin. That's what I need. I'm addicted to pens and paintbrushes and paint and crayons and pastels and chalk and rubbers and pens and look at the beautiful pens. Look at the beautiful pens I've got. And my ex-wife gave this to me lovingly. What a beautiful pen. What a beautiful pen. And I'm running it on Hewlett-Packard. I'm running it on Hewlett-Packard ink because I don't have the resources for the real McCoy. But what a beautiful, and I've got the matching propelling pencil. Where are you? Where's my matching propelling pencil? It's amongst the debris here. This one, not so much. This pen, this fountain pen, not so much. I don't know, there's a problem with it. I've got to try and fix it somehow. But it's also beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful pen. But where's my propelling pencil? Propelling pencil, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? It'll be here somewhere. I never forget. Look how dirty this protractor is. I must wash all my shit. All my flexi curves. Those things that you get at school that no one knows what the fuck to do with. I've only found out now in my latter years how useful these French curves or flexi curves or whatever you call them are. They are vital. Look at this beautiful little 60-degree, beautiful little, it's a bit dirty, but beautiful, beautiful. And I suppose, let me show you what I'm going to be doing later live. I'm going to be burning this. I'm going to be igniting this and demonstrating how a tiny little bit of kerosene, that is 5 milliliters of kerosene, can burn so beautifully and so clean. And hopefully I'm back. Like I was saying, I've got naught ears. Like I was saying, I'm going to burn this live. And it's going to be spectacular. When I burn this live, it's going to be spectacular. And I'm going to be doing it, I'm going to be burning it live. What is the time now? It is 14 minutes past 9. South Africa, Harare, Pretoria time, PM. At 10:45, I'm going to be doing a live demonstration. I don't know if that's going to be too late, but I should have some high hopes for that one. So take a good look at 5,000 watts. Right. Wattage has no bearing on the physical dynamics of the burner. It is all this size. We just have a different method of fuel delivery, and this goes like a rocket. So what I say is thank you for watching, and I feel I must go and eat now. So until later, thank you. I'll speak to you all again soon. 10:45, 11:15 South African time. Let's go. Thank you for